Hello and welcome to another Plodware video. In this video we're going to have a look at how you can exchange data between an Excel worksheet and an SQLite database. In a technical sense, what we're going to do is we're going to have the pwScripter, which includes the SQLite database engine. We'll then bring in a SQLite database into this environment, and then we will be able to transfer very simply using, you won't see them, but it'll be using COM technology, Component Object Model, which is supported by Microsoft Excel and by pwScripter. And it works both ways. We can transfer data from an SQLite database into a worksheet, or we can transfer from a worksheet into the database. As always, there's a disclaimer. This video is for informational and educational use only. Please, by all means, take copies and use the commands, scripts, executables as you like. Just remember, it's only available as is, and there is no liability accepted for any damage or anything that might result from the use of any of these application scripts and documentation, etc. Please read the disclaimer. There is a second disclaimer, which is very specific. This executable that we're going to have a look at uses SQLite. It also runs on a Microsoft Windows platform, except that I use their products, Microsoft and SQLite. I have no connection with any of the companies, their employees, representatives, or subsidiaries. And this video is neither sponsored by nor solicited by a third party. If you want to get a copy of the pwScripter, which runs on Windows, go to my website, ripetech.com. There is a download page, and on the download page you'll find a link to pwScripter. It's a zip file. Download the zip file. It only contains the executable. Unpack it wherever you want it, and then double click and it should run. You should get something like this. If you don't, and you get this blue screen, don't panic. Just double right click on the executable's entry in the file system to get the properties pop up, and then select the general register and click the unblock option. Apply, OK, close, double click, and it should run. Right, I've already prepared an environment for us to work in. Let's have a look. There's my pwScripter. There's a database. I'm going to move into the database info panel, make everything a bit bigger, and simply drag and drop the database. And there we are. We've got a table. It's called master TBL. It's got 33,000 rows, and there's about 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 15 columns. 15. Oh. More than I thought. Yep, 15 columns. So, what we're going to do now, let's get rid of that. We're going to go here and say, Start Excel. This program only works if you have a working copy of Excel. I'm going to start it. There we are. Make it a bit smaller, and simply say, I would like to take the entirety, select everything from my, master TBL. That's the, if I spell properly, the database command that we're going to use. It's going to get everything from the master table, all 15 columns and 33,441 rows. And we're going to say, please write the results of this SQL query to Excel. So click. There we are. It's finished. There's our data. 33,440. Yep, it's all there. The formatting is a bit unpleasant. You can manually, of course, correct it. But for such purposes, I also have a macro that I like to run that's predefined. It's something to do with the word format, help format. That's close enough. Excel table format. Let's simply run the macro. It automatically goes to the currently opened Excel that we opened from here. And it will now format it for us. Run the command. And this is how I like to see my tables when I used to deliver them to the clients that I worked for as a consultant. Rather boring, but outlined, put down nicely, tables wide enough for the text. You can have a look at the macro if you're interested. There are minor issues always when working with Excel. They have their own opinion of how date should be done and numbers. And you'll see here that they've got p hashes are always given as exponentials, whereas if we look at the original information, p hash is a full number. This is where you can start using tricks. Let's go back and say select star sorry 1 2 3 4 p hash as p hash text. There's a H too many. P hash text from master TBL. Let's move to a different sheet. And let's run that command. What that'll do is it'll take the p hash column and put a leading apostrophe in front of it, which means something for Excel. It means treat the rest of this text as rest of this as pure text, even if it looks like a number. So let's run that. Write the SQL. There it goes. And now we see we've got an extra column, p hash text, and the number remains in text format. Now let's work it from the other way. If we had an Excel file, we'd open Excel using this, start Excel, and then we'd load, using manual controls, we'd load the Excel worksheets into the environment, pick the worksheet we want, let's say, give it a name, test, select it as being the current worksheet, and then we could simply come in here and say Excel, read the current worksheet. Does a few tricks, and it's finished. There's our table called test. Click on it. 33441. Yeah, it's the right number of rows. Let's see if it's got this extra column. P hash text. Yep. That's it. There are macros to do far more things. For example, I often needed to read I was often given an Excel file with lots of worksheets in it, and I knew I'd have to read a particular worksheet, and that often this worksheet had links to other worksheets. It also had the worksheet was hidden. there was all sorts of things that made it difficult to try to read the worksheet. So I wrote a macro. Let me see, it's called Excel export system macros. Double right click, find Excel export, find the first instance. There it is, there's a macro, it's fairly big, and it does all sorts of tricks so that if the file has got a link that wants to be updated, normally a pop-up window would appear. It'll suppress the pop-up window. If auto filters are on, that can muck up the reading of the file of the sheet. Takes care of auto filters and a few other tricks. There's all sorts of things. Have a hunt around. If in doubt, send me an email. But other than that, that's it. Thank you. My thanks for your time. Until the next video. Cheers.